Welcome back. This is the Daily Thunder podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Woods, and I am back with Daily Thunder beat writer Brandon Rahbar. Brandon, how are you, man?
I'm good, man. We're very, very close to the end of the season, and the Thunder are doing their job. But, man, I just wish that the Cavs and the Magic and the Pistons would stop doing their job. They need to win a game.
Yeah, so before we get into that, because we've got a lot of that to talk about, just want to say a big happy Mother's Day to everybody every mother listening out there. Big thanks to all of you. Happy Mother's Day to my mom. Brandon, why don't you give a shout out?
Yeah, big shout out to my mom. Ryan, I'm sure your mom is great and all, but mine is the best in the world. So it's kind of funny. I see all these people talking about how they have the best mom in the world on Mother's Day, and I'm like, oh, that's weird because mine's the best. So you're wrong.
So Oklahoma City loses tonight. We were really worried about these Sacramento games, right? Like we were thinking this was the spot that if they were going to slip up and win a couple of games, it might be these. And I mean, they've done what they needed to do. Like, it's hard to say, like, we're almost done with this year and we'll be done saying these losses are a good thing and part of the plan. But this is really important stuff, and they're not fun. They're not pretty, but this is what they needed to do. They lost at home. We expected a Warriors win, and they definitely got them. But the Sacramento team, I thought there would be a night where they just didn't play enough guys, and Oklahoma City might play above their weight one of these games. But Sacramento's done enough. They hit a lot of shots tonight, and were able to cruise by Oklahoma City tonight. So one more Sacramento game on Tuesday night, and then it's Utah and LA, the Clippers, to end the season. So just what are your thoughts on kind of the last two games or last three games, Kings, Warriors, Kings?
We may have over-worried about these Kings games, but that said, maybe not, because Ty Jerome hasn't played. He's arguably been the Thunder's best player lately. Lou Dort didn't play tonight. Kenrich Williams didn't play the Kings games. The Thunder knew what was at stake versus the Kings. Thunder fans weren't the only ones looking at the schedule and kind of tensed up. And for some reason, I got the image of the gingerbread man from Shrek
From Shrek?
I can't remember if it was like little candy bits or something like that.
Yes. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. So you've at least seen the GIF if you don't remember the movie. The Thunder execs, I think, had these games circled on their schedule as well. So when Dort and Kenrich and Jerome aren't playing, and I would say that those have probably been the Thunder's three best rotation players since SGA and Horford have been shut down, they knew it was at stake. What needed to happen happened. Now, the good thing is the Kings feel like they still have something to play for, and the next game is against the Kings, so I think that'll go fine. Now you just got to hope that the Clippers and the Jazz both still have something to play for when the Thunder play them, and I think that they both will. I think there's still enough closeness between all those seeds that both those teams will still have something to play for those last couple games.
It's crazy to think after this entire year, like this time next week, the Thunder will have played their last game. They'll be done. It's wild to think we're at the end.
Yeah. And what's funny is it's been a short season. It's been kind of a wacky season because the offseason was so short. And then, with all the trades and then all the resting and all the injuries and all the shut, and it still kind of feels like it's happening too soon and the end is sneaking up on us. And I wish that there was a little bit longer to go so that the Cavs and Magic and Pistons could win a couple games.
So let's go there, because Minnesota getting that win was really big. I mean, this wasn't the night that we wanted Orlando to win, at least in my opinion.
I don't know. Here's my feeling on that. I trust the Wolves to win again more because I think they're going to beat the Pistons on Tuesday, regardless. Because the Pistons are like, you look at their injury report and you're like, how is there any players left? Like,
yeah, it's crazy.
Like, it looks like there's 17 dudes on that injury report. For some reason, people like 76ers fans are kind of joking around about it, but some people are kind of giving the Thunder a lot of crap for resting guys. I'm like, how are the Pistons coming away unscathed with this? They are shutting down everyone who can pick up a basketball. That said, so I feel like the Wolves are going to win that game. The Wolves are still trying, and they want to win. I'd rather have the Magic beat the Wolves, stop being tied with them, and then at worst, the Wolves beat the Pistons on Tuesday. Then we're in the same situation anyways, and then the Wolves might win another game where I don't really trust the Magic to win another game.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, that game wasn't close from the jump. Minnesota was all over them straight away, and that was that. That now puts – so Oklahoma City, with that loss, moves into third alone with their loss tonight. Moves to third alone because Minnesota now jumps up to that tie. So Cleveland, Orlando, Minnesota all tied at 21 and 47. Oklahoma City just a half game worse than those at 21 and 48, just one more loss. Detroit's got one less win, 20 and 49. They're a game ahead or game behind Oklahoma City. So it's going to be jumbled, and it seems like Detroit, if they lose out, obviously they get the two spot, and then it's probably going to be a tie. Like Oklahoma City, Cleveland, Orlando most likely lose out.
Yeah.
And finish with 21 wins. Minnesota, like you're saying, probably knocks off the Pistons on Tuesday. Right. So you're looking at a three-way tie. And that's for the third best odds. I've seen conflicting reports, but you've been on it. You've been at it the same this whole time. Those odds just split.
Yeah, they split. If it's a tie, they split. And if there is a three-way tie, which I'm with you, I think it's going to be the Thunder, the Magic, and the Cavs. All will finish with 21 wins and lose out. Then you're looking at about a 47.5% chance at a top four pick. And then there's the 48% chance that the Thunder get the number 5 overall pick from the Rockets. So you're basically looking at 2 coin flips. I think at this point, more reliable than even Tankathon Sims would just be flip a coin twice and pick or the Thunder heads or tails. Do that like 10 times and see how often it comes out, because that's basically what it's going to come down to for the Thunder.
Seeing that 3 next to their name on Tankathon, I'm looking at it right now. That's encouraging. It's exciting. It makes this entire run feel kind of like it meant something, and it does obviously, but it just makes it feel worth it.
Well, yeah, and here's the thing. The number 3 is a little misleading because, like you said, they just played one more game, so they've lost one. But like you said, if the Thunder even waited one more game longer to rest Horford or SGA's injury or a Dort game here or there, had the Thunder not lost all these games that they've lost, like 21 of the past 22, which sounds insane when you say it, but it goes to prove how much better they were in the first half of the season than expected. But had they won even one more game, then they're in the number 6 spot. The odds go down considerably. You're looking at like from a 47.5% chance if you're tied for number 3 with the Cavs and Magic to looking at like a 37% chance at a top 4 pick. It's a big drop. So this worked out just right, assuming that the Thunder lose to the Kings and Jazz and Clippers. They did it just like if it was a movie and it was like a countdown clock at 5, 4, and then like cut the wire right at 1. That's kind of how it is for the Thunder right now. Yeah.
It's going to be very, very close. And you would think like just one win. So let's go down this road. Let's go down the road of Detroit beats Minnesota on Tuesday.
That'd be fine.
And now Detroit gets to 21 wins.
Yeah.
And then you finish with 4 teams. Does that only –
It would be 5 teams because Minnesota would still have 21 wins as well.
And you think the last chance Minnesota has to win a game is Tuesday?
No, not necessarily. I thought you meant after that. No, they play the Nuggets. The thing is, though, the Nuggets might have their seed wrapped up by Tuesday, and they play the Nuggets on Thursday. No, I don't think the Nuggets will just rest all their dudes because they still have a couple of games left to play. Then they play the Celtics, and we know better than anyone that the Celtics are unreliable. And then they play the Mavs the last game of the season. The Mavs may not have anything to play for, and the Timberwolves may want to win. So I still think that the Wolves may get another win. But just for chaos' sake, it's fun to think about a 5-way tie.
So a 5-way tie would essentially just help Houston, right? Because it diminishes everyone else's odds that are tied.
Houston's going to be at 52% no matter what. Like, that doesn't change for them. it just diminishes anybody. I mean, like you can look at, I guess, glass half full or half empty. Basically, 2 through 6 would be tied. So whatever all those percentage points are, be split. And then there's a drawing for order. So like, let's say that you're not picked, but you were drawn and you end up with the number 2 slot. That could still be big because you might get the number 5 pick just because the way things go. A drawing in that situation would be huge. It would be mass chaos if there was a 5-way tie at number 2.
It really could happen. It really could. Like if Detroit gets one good night, and we saw it a couple like a week and a half or so ago when they got that 20th win. It's going to be really, really interesting. I'm pumped for the next few days because it's a lot can happen and a lot of good can happen. And honestly, I don't see Oklahoma City winning any of these last 3 games. So I think they're in a good spot at 21 wins. Obviously, we know that, but that it could improve, especially if Cleveland or Orlando were to miraculously pick one off.
And Cleveland hasn't just totally shut down their guys yet. There's been the Darius Garland injury, but I mean, Sexton's still playing, Jared Allen's still playing. And that's why it's amazing to me. I know that, again, Garland's been out the last few games, but they've lost 10 in a row. Kevin Love is playing. I mean, they've had a tough schedule, but they also lost to the Magic at one point. But they play the Pacers tomorrow. They could beat the Pacers if they're actually trying. The Pacers are not world beaters, except for when they're playing the Thunder and breaking, NBA history. But they're not world beaters by any means. And then the Cavs play the Celtics, which, again, we know how that could go. And then the Cavs play the Wizards, which, I mean, the Wizards are still trying to win. So I really think the best shot for the Cavs to get a win will be tomorrow against the Pacers.
Unless Brooklyn has nothing to play for on the last day of the season.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't have that pulled up because it went farther down. Yeah, and that's possible. The Nets may not have anything to play for, which would be nice. And then the Magic play the Bucks. Okay, they're going to lose to the Bucks. Then they play the Hawks, probably going to lose to the Hawks. But then they play the 76ers the last 2 games, and the 76ers could very well have the number 1 seed in the East wrapped up by then. The 76ers obviously have good depth. But if they rest their starters, I mean, the Magic could accidentally win a game they don't want to win. The Thunder are in better position as far as playing the Jazz and Clippers the last 2 because they're more likely to want to be playing for something.
And honestly, like, I don't know that Oklahoma City can beat a B team right now. Like, they're fielding a G League team minus maybe 1 or 2 names that would be probably rotation players next year with everybody healthy. Like, they're doing it right now. So I think Oklahoma City's in a really good spot. One quick note about the game tonight that I wanted to mention is that I'm just so glad that we have Teo. Like, I really, really, really like him. I still can't believe we got him in the second round, and I'm very pumped to see him next year in a more normal rotation.
Teo's been nice. His efficiency hasn't always been there, but he just looks the part. He usually gets the raw numbers. Again, not always efficiently, but he's a rookie. And that comes with rookies. But you see his shot, you see his form, you see the maturity, you see the IQ, you see his vision. I think he's going to be solid. Baisley still confuses me. Tonight he had a good night, just period, because he had 18 points on 6 of 13 shooting, shot 2 of 3 from 3, had 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 turnovers, but that's whatever it is. I thought Poku had a good night. 5 of 11. The box score says 2 of 7 from 3, but I'm a little frustrated with the stat keepers on this one because one was a very clear pass to Moses Brown that they counted as a 3-point shot, so he should have been 2 of 6, and I'm probably the only person that noticed that and won't let it go. But he scored 13 points and had 5 assists. He was the Thunder's leading assist man tonight. And then Gabriel Deck, he had 4 assists, 2 steals, 6 rebounds, and 5 points. The efficiency wasn't good for him tonight at all. He was only 1 of 8. 0 for 4 from 3, but I thought Gabby had a good overall night.
Yeah, and Jalen Hort had probably one of his best games as well. Box score looks great for him, but I thought he did a really good job on both ends at times. 16 points, 5 boards, 1 assist, 2 steals. I just really like the way that he played, especially out there with Teo. But yeah, it was another, waxing really. Sacramento not even playing their heaviest hitters, I should say, De'Aaron Fox, Harrison Barnes, and Halliburton not out there. But they still, what do they have? 8 dudes in double figures, so that'll get it done on most nights. So they hit a ton of threes, and I hope they left a few for Tuesday. I shouldn't say they hit 11, but it seemed like they were. Oh, sorry, not Oklahoma City hit 11. They hit 16. I mean, they shot at 44% from three. It was a good night for them.
I think we worried a little bit too much about their roster with Halliburton and De'Aaron Fox and Harrison Barnes out. Because on paper, they still have Marvin Bagley because he came back, Buddy Hield, Wright, Harkless, Holmes. That's not a bad starting lineup, especially when you look at the Thunder starting lineup and saw rookies and sophomores and G League guys. I think that the Kings will win on Tuesday, so we will hopefully escape that Kings trifecta unscathed. You know, if even one of those teams, if the Magic or Cavs can somehow pick up a win, that's big for the odds too, because then you bump up the Thunder have 50% odds, straight up 50-50 chance to get a top 4 pick.
It's starting to get real. You know, we've talked about it, and I know we're still a ways away from lottery night, but it's shaping up to it's taking shape now, and we can see the end, and we know exactly what's needed to get specific spots. I remember like a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, we were just stressing. We were stressing the fact that this team was winning 40% of their games, and it took absolutely 22 losses over the last several weeks to get it done. But this has been an unbelievable run of tanking. Like really, really has.
Yeah, it really has. If the Thunder end up tied for the number 3 spot, more than likely, even if they don't get a top 5 pick, you're looking at worst at that point, 6 or 7. And at that point, a worst case scenario is the Thunder say get like 7 and 19 from the Heat. And obviously that would be incredibly disappointing. But when the worst case scenario is like Scotty Barnes or Moses Moody or Josh Giddey, and then maybe a guy like a Kai Jones or a Zaire Williams or a Jalen Johnson, that's still not a bad worst case scenario. The Thunder are still going to get a couple good players, but they could get a couple of elite players.
I'll go out on a limb and say if they have 7 and 19, there is no chance they draft guys at 7 and 19.
I agree.
I'm not saying I know exactly what they're going to do, but I do not think they would draft at 7 and 19. You know what I mean?
Yep. No, I'm completely with you. I think that Sam Presti will do whatever it takes to walk away with one of these top 5 guys in this draft. And he's got plenty of ammo to do it. I'm with you. I'd be shocked.
Doesn't it feel like the direction, like, it's hard to overstate how important lottery night is, and we've mentioned it before, but it really is like it so much hinges on it. Like Shea's future with the team could hinge on it. Like if they can't get one of these really top end guys on Shea's timeline, I mean Shea's extension eligible this offseason. He's due a lot of money. This is not to say that they're going to rush anything, but I think their plan is to get at least one really high-end guy on the floor with Shea by next year, because you want to put somebody with him. You don't want to have to wait 3 or 4 years to get top-end talent next to him, and you especially don't want to have to give up. You don't want to have to give up a ton of assets to get a current star. You want to grow those guys from the draft and still have those future assets to maybe put somebody with them down the road. So it's just a huge night where they get these picks.
The Thunder want an elite talent to put next to Shea. That's what it's all about. They have an elite talent when you look at age and trajectory in Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, but you need at least 2. And if they can lock down 2 elite talents going forward, this rebuild is going to be accelerated, and this rebuild is going to be a lot more fun than most rebuilds go. Because if you can get one in this draft, you can put an elite young guy next to Shea, and then all those picks from the Clippers and Rockets and Heat and all those things in addition to that, and free cap space. And the Thunder will have so many different options and flexibility and assets to go out and get guys or sign free agents if they want. but it all starts with putting an elite talent next to Shea. That's what this whole season has been about.
And can I say, I want it so bad for Presti. In a very vindictive way, I want it so bad for Sam Presti.
He deserves it. Like, after the first era and, so many things going against the Thunder, he ran things so well and made so many good decisions. And the sustained success was true. And he made great move after great move after great move. And he's done it all with high class, never complained when the CBA messed him over with the Rose Rule retroactively, or the loophole where the Warriors were able to sign a max player that 1 year, and then all these injuries and things like that. And then you have teams like the Lakers or the Nets who made terrible decisions front office wise over and over again, either it be bad drafts or bad trades or bad signs or whatever, and then end up not matter because they're located in LA, New York. So boom, championship teams. Yeah. So yes, I'm with you. I want it for Sam Presti as well.
And it's just fun to see, when he has as many options as possible, he always uses those options to create the best outcome. And if he can I would just love to see what he decides to do with 2 top 5 picks, even if it's 4 and 5 or 3 and 5. What is the decision? Right. Is it drafting at 3 and 5? Is it giving up both and maybe more to get to 1? Is he more enamored with Cade than anyone? Is Cade his guy through and through, and nobody else matters to him? Is this a one-person draft for Sam Presti? He's got the assets, I think, for that to be a consideration. If we're at 5 or we're at 4 and the Rockets keep their pick, is it just Cade? We're leaving draft night with Cade, no matter what? Or is he thinking 3 and 5 in the long run is greater than having the number 1 pick? I'm so intrigued. I'm just very intrigued, and I want to get a chance to know what he's thinking. And we'll probably only know that if we're in that scenario, because obviously he's not just going to volunteer that information.
To me, Cade and Mobley have separated themselves. I know it's a big 5, but there's 3 tiers to me. Cade and Mobley are on their own tier to me, and then the 2 Jalens, Suggs and Green, are the next tier, and then Jonathan Kuminga is the final tier by himself. So it's a clear top 5, but to me, there's clear tiers within those. And I'm sure Sam Presti wants to walk away if he could possibly with Cade or Mobley. But hey, either one of the Jalens is a pretty nice consolation prize too.
No doubt. And so right now, if it went chalk, it would be Rockets, Pistons, Thunder, Cavs, Magic, and then the Warriors at 6. Oh man, Minnesota fans, I would feel very bad for them if these last couple weeks of the season cost them a shot at one of these guys. Oklahoma City's back at it. Same building, same team, and we'll be back to talk after Kings and Thunder on Tuesday night. Brandon, thanks for staying up late and joining me, man.
Absolutely, man. Have a good night, Ryan.
All right, Thunder fans, thanks a lot for joining. This is the Daily Thunder Podcast.